So I sat through 3 hours of Raw tonight just to see this. Just to see Dean Ambrose come back to be announced as Seth Rollins' corner man for his Intercontinental title match at SummerSlam. That's what I sat for this go-home show on Raw. Was for Dean Ambrose to come out looking like he a baby Triple H. Dean Ambrose coming out looking like he's Curtis Axel. Curtis Axel actually hit the weights for once. Dean Ambrose coming out still in Brock Lesnar's arms. That's what I waited for. I waited 3 hours just to see, oh, is Dean Ambrose going to come out and actually be a thing? He still exists? That's what I waited for. And if that's what you waited for, then I guess you got what you wanted from this go-home show. But overall, this go-home show for Raw sucked. It was bad. It was doo-doo. It was trash. Like, I don't know how WWE expects me to be like, you know what, man? I'm so excited for SummerSlam. Look, if I wasn't a hardcore wrestling fan, someone that is sitting there and used to watching this week in and week out, and it is just kind of part of my DNA to kind of just torture myself and watch this show, then I don't know. I probably wouldn't even watch SummerSlam. Then again, it's one of the bigger shows of the year, and so that kind of always gets me a little bit nostalgic because I'm like, oh, it's the biggest show of the year. I also have this weird theory every year that when the IWC worst ever, especially when it comes to the big four pay-per-views, that show ends up being pretty damn great. And when you look at the SummerSlam card on paper, and you look at your match quality, there's some matches that could actually deliver. But just the build-up has just been bad. Like that's the thing that people don't understand. The build-up has been bad. Not to keep a hardcore fan like me around, because they know that I'm going to stick around no matter what. I'm like, yeah, I may not watch like the weekly shows every week, but I'll still catch the pay-per-views. I'm still dumb enough to keep my $9.99 to the WWE Network because I just feel like, hey, I use it for other things besides just watching the pay-per-view, because I use the WWE Network for other things. I know people who just watch them for the pay-per-views, but I actually watch some of the older stuff, you know. That's what I do with it. So yeah, you know, for a guy like me, you know, it's just like, I'm used to it. But for a casual fan, I don't know how, like, the Ronda and Alexa Bliss stuff. After Ronda took down those security guards, how are you supposed to make me... That makes sense. But Ronda Rousey, if she's like struggling with Alexa Bliss, like, oh man, that's just bad. They didn't do anything to make you excited for Care Bear versus Kevin Owens. Constable Corbin is like a highlight on Raw. Like, he cuts some of the best promos. He's a very interesting character. But it's like him and Finn Balor are feuding over goopiness. It's just because Constable Corbin's like, you're short and you have more success than me, so I'm mad at that. So I'm going to take it out on you. And it's like a match we already saw. And it's most likely that Constable Corbin's going to win on SummerSlam. So it's 50-50 booking. How does this help Finn? How does this help Constable Corbin? I mean, both these guys should be doing much better than what they're currently doing. Goopy Lashley is facing Elias in some type of match. Like, at this point, man, Vince, you're already sunken deep with Lashley. Just have a scene off at SummerSlam. If you really want Lashley to be this fun, go happy, lucky character, just have him play a guitar at SummerSlam. I don't even know what was that jobber's name he squashed? Ricky? Yeah, who cares, man? The Roman and Brock segment, I know a lot of you guys probably heard the portion of this review early on where you're saying, how could a casual like this? Look, someone who is not a hardcore wrestling fan, you may look at this segment and you were like, okay, this is bad. And it was a bad segment. Paul Heyman talked too long, Roman talked too much, the pepper spray. But the thing is, if you're a casual fan, I really do feel like as a casual fan, someone that's just casually watching wrestling, they've done a good job in this feud, making you kind of hate Brock and kind of want to see Roman win. Now, for me as a hardcore fan, and you guys know me as also a hardcore Roman Reigns fan, and someone who's not really the biggest fan of Brock Lesnar, for me personally, it's just like, I really don't care who wins. I've been enjoying this I don't give a shit type of Brock Lesnar because that's who I really believe he is as a person. I think right now Roman Reigns isn't the best option to have as Universal Champion because you're still afraid to go all the way with Roman Reigns. Like, you're still afraid to just say, hey, Roman Reigns is the guy. Like, you just are so afraid to do it. So why would I care if I know you're not 100% invested into it? Don't say the WWE is 100% invested into Roman Reigns, because if they were, he would be Universal Champion already and Brock would be getting his rematch just because. So, see, for me personally, I just have no interest. But for a casual fan, the way that WWE's been doing it, the way that Brock Lesnar's been portrayed, the way Reigns has been portrayed, I can see how they got into it. And this segment where Heyman did the pepper spray and then beat down Lesnar, you know, it wasn't like they were trying to get you sympathy for Roman, because Roman held his own against Heyman in the little promo. Even though I felt he talked too much, he held his own in the promo. Heyman took the cheap shot. Here's Brock Lesnar, who's supposed to be this legit fighter, but he comes out as a bully and beats up Roman Reigns. That's easy to hate. That's something where it's like, you know what, I could hate this guy for that. So they did good on that part. But then other stuff on Raw tonight, it was just bad. Like the Boston Hug connection need to disappear. Ruby Riott, or Discount Kmart Page, as my friend Amir would call her. She needs to go away too. Bobby Roode needs to go back to NXT. The Authors of Pain need a push. Mojo Rawley still a hidden gem on Raw. But no, seriously, you waited 3 hours just to see Dean Ambrose, Triple H's looking ass, to come out and beat up Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler. And what I hated the most about this segment between Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler is here cutting this damn promo. The same promo he's been cutting for years. Where he's like, I know that you guys used to cheer for me. I always steal the show, and I know it. I am the one that is going to win because I have the heart. And it's like, dude, you cut the same promo for fucking 5 years. Stop. Why isn't that Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre be like, oh, well, you know, Raw ends soon. Let's sign the contract, get on out of here before Seth Rollins comes. I feel like, to be honest, what would have been more exciting is if Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre were smart heels, signed the contract, be like, oh, well, Rollins didn't make it. We're leaving the arena. Rollins comes in through a limo via like Attitude Era or Ruthless Aggression Era type of style. Goes, you guys ain't leaving anywhere. And then starts beating them. Then McIntyre starts getting the advantage and they start going into the ring and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, and here comes Triple H's looking at Dean Ambrose coming. He's going to go like, yeah, I've been working out. I stole Brock Lesnar's arm. USADA don't check WWE. Goes ahead, does the wacky line and all that stuff. And then Seth Rollins gets up. He asks Kurt, is the contract still valid? Kurt goes, oh, it's true. It's damn true. And then Rollins signs it and he goes, oh yeah, by the way, Dean Ambrose in my corner, and the fans go, wow, I thought that would have been much better than the ending that we got. It would have been like, oh man, wacky craziness, awesomeness. But no one said. Dolph Ziggler cut the, I am putting this on the line, and I know. It's like, you look like a stupid heel. You really do look like a stupid heel because you're just literally cutting this same freaking promo. You're just like saying, like, you're giving Seth Rollins time to arrive to sign the contract. You should be thinking, hey, I got to get my ass out of here. But whatever. Raw was bad. Dean Ambrose is back. Cringe Ronda's our girl. Brock Lesnar is being hurt by USADA. Speaking of Brock Lesnar, remember guys, sometimes you gotta be like the #1 contender to the UFC heavyweight champion and our Universal Champion Brock Lesnar. Sometimes you just don't have to give a shit in life. And we're all constables. But at the end of the day, yo, Dean Ambrose, if you got any steroids, send them their way. You all know you see my flabby arms. I need to get on that Dean Ambrose system. You know, if Simon Dean had the Simon Dean system, I need that Dean Ambrose little Triple H system. Curtis Axel, you may need that shit too.